Nach has arrived. In Kenya's Masai Mara of East Africa, the Nach coalition was the most powerful alliance. At its peak, it ruled over Jiangnuda, 1,100 square kilometers, breaking records of this lion species, one after another. It's also the world's only coalition. Named after a legion, breaking through brutality, shining with legion's glory. It was also history's most powerful father-son coalition. Father and sons united, unparalleled, but they weren't born powerful. Instead, through countless hardships, they reached their peak. Welcome to Universal Species. The show is about to begin. The Nach coalition has many followers abroad. This has led many people to compare it with the Bad Boys coalition. The leaders of both coalitions had similar experiences. Members in both coalitions possessed terrifying fighting power. Unlike Ngaralariak, Nach abandoned his brother in the Marsh Pride, fleeing alone, leaving his brother Liang Zong in danger until death. This was Nach's lifelong stain and scar, but it was also when Nach transformed from a boy into someone who took on the responsibilities of a man. Nach was born in 2000, growing strong under the Pride's care. He and his brother Liang Zong, like most lion prides, young male lions would be driven out when reaching adulthood. The exiled male lions often form coalitions. These could be brothers, or those with no blood relation. However, not all adolescent male lions are driven out of their pride. It depends on the pride situation and geographical location. In 2003, 3-year-old Noah Chi and his brother Liang Zong were driven out of their pride and wandered everywhere. During their wandering, they appeared around the Masa Pride. At this time, Simba and his brother were in control of the Masa Pride. However, Simba's brother had died a few days ago while hunting buffalo, crushed under the buffalo's hooves, leaving lonely Simba to guard the pride alone. This situation gave the two brothers a perfect opportunity. One day, with fierce eyes, they slowly approached Simba, hidden by the grass. At this time, Noah Chi was still somewhat timid, nervously following his brother Liang Zong. At Liang Zong's signal, Liang Zong launched an instant attack. Simba, who was walking, fled at the sight, without any hesitation. A prime adult male lion, scared away by two adolescent males, was quite rare in pride history. It could only be said that his brother's death had made Simba abandon his desire for leadership. After all, staying alive meant having a future. With Simba's escape, the Masa Pride officially changed leadership. By 2004, as Liang Zong and Noah Chi reached adulthood, the brothers finally gained complete control of the Masa Pride. The Masa Pride entered unprecedented prosperity. The pride had 4 adult lionesses, which made brother Liang Zong's eyes light up. Focused on mating and reproduction, Noah Chi showed no interest in lionesses. Instead, he spent his days wandering and sleeping. In January 2005, the Masa Pride welcomed 7 new cubs. However, 2 months later, 2 of the cubs didn't survive. And in May, 3 more cubs were born to the pride. The Masa Pride grew larger. To protect the cubs and lionesses, Liang Zong led Noah Chi to patrol and guard their territory more frequently. However, on June 21st, 3 male lions from the Paradise Pride invaded the Masa Pride, 2 against 3. Noah Chi became a coward. He abandoned his brother Liang Zong and fled alone, leaving Liang Zong to face 3 opponents by himself. Although Liang Zong was an exceptional fighter, fighting 3 opponents was extremely difficult, but he persisted until dawn the next day. He tried to stand up several times to continue protecting the pride and cubs, but ultimately died in battle. His brother died because of Noah Chi's escape. This cast a shadow in Noah Chi's heart. After he returned to the Masa Pride, he took over the Masa Pride, becoming the new ruler of the Masa Pride. The 8 cubs in the pride were all children of his brother Liang Zong. Noah Chi became these cubs, key to survival. For a male lion to protect a pride with 8 cubs was an extremely difficult task, especially in Masai Mara where lion density was relatively high. Few male lions could succeed, and for Noah Chi, at not even 6 years old, he still had many opportunities to form new alliances with other male lions, to reinvade other prides, and start a new life. He might even become the leader of the coalition, and produce his own offspring. But Noah Chi didn't do that. Although he wasn't as brave as his brother Liang Zong, or confident, but in adversity, his survival instincts gradually emerged. He began to understand how to better protect the pride. Several peaceful months passed. One day, the Masha Pride encountered 3 young nomadic male lions. The lionesses of the pride attacked together, resulting in one young male's death. The other 2 strong ones fled in panic, and were discovered by Noah Chi who was patrolling. He calmly observed for a while. After accurately assessing their strength, he began to show his dominance, declaring that he was the ruler of the Masha Pride, finally driving away the enemies. Intimidating the invading lions was undoubtedly a confidence boost for Noah Chi. After gaining confidence, it strengthened his resolve to protect the Masha Pride. However, in the days that followed, Noah Chi would meet someone, a female he had let down his whole life, Tam. Like many males, when Noah Chi met the petite, attractive, young and strong lioness, he couldn't move his legs anymore. They cuddled together. It was love at first sight. Finally, Noah Chi couldn't resist. They mated right there. This mating period lasted for 6 days. 1 year later, Tam brought 4 cubs seeking Noah Chi's protection. But she was rejected by several lionesses from Marsha's pride. The lionesses in a pride are all bound by blood ties. They cannot accept unrelated lionesses into their family. At this time, Nochi was very cowardly and irresponsible. The first roar. To raise her cubs, Tam decided to take her 4 children to live on the edge of Nochi's territory, hoping for Nochi's help on one hand, and hoping to join Marsh's pride on the other. One day, Tam was spotted by a wandering male lion. The wandering lion wanted to possess Tam. A lone male and female seemed like a perfect match, but Tam didn't like him. The male lion discovered Tam's cubs, slowly approaching them. He prepared to kill the cubs, to end Tam's nursing period, so she would enter estrus sooner. At this time, Nochi was patrolling far away, unable to protect Tam. To protect her cubs, Tam took the initiative, attacking the strong male lion. With incomparable momentum, she drove the wandering lion hundreds of meters away. That was an adult male lion, much bigger than Tam. The brave Tam, desperate to protect her cubs, actually overwhelmed him with her fierce presence, defeating the male lion completely, chasing him hundreds of meters away. The brave Tam dared not continue fighting. He quickly headed home. Unfortunately, in the chaos, 2 of his cubs were missing, leaving only 2 cubs. One of them was injured. Tam found a new shelter with them and settled the 2 cubs there. Tam was hesitant. He wanted to search for the missing cubs, but it might be futile, and could put the surviving cubs in danger. Tam hesitated for a long time, but finally decided to go back and search. The result was sad. Nothing was found. The next day, the injured cub died. Tam was heartbroken. He kept licking the cub's wounds, hoping to help it heal, even though he knew the cub was already dead. Nochi also discovered the cub's death. He must have wished he had been there yesterday. Nochi couldn't approach Tam to comfort him. They could only look at each other from afar. Nochi roared again, because he feared the lionesses at home might hurt Tam while he was on patrol. After grieving, Tam returned to their previous home to search for the lost cubs. He searched for 2 consecutive days, finally found the 2 missing cubs. Heaven was merciful after all. Tam, with the 3 cubs, walked slowly in the sunset. In the sunlight, she was a great and resilient mother. Not long after, Tam went out hunting, but caught nothing. Looks like he'll have to go hungry again today. When Tamu collected herself and walked home, the brief moments spent with her 3 cubs at home were Tamu's happiest times. When approaching home, she discovered Nochi's 4 wives were blocking the entrance. Fortunately, they didn't harm the cubs. Clearly, they believed Tamu was a temptress who seduced Nochi, ready to cause a scene. Tamu quickly fled. Nochi's wives chased after her. Tamu dared not slow down. If caught, she might be beaten to death. Nochi remained indifferent, only roaring to vent his helplessness. Fortunately, they didn't catch Tamu. When Tamu returned home, she found all her lost cubs, and continued their difficult life on the savannah. Tamu was a great and strong mother. She raised 3 cubs alone on the savannah. Without the protection of a pride, she was often attacked. Without partners to cooperate, they often went hungry, but she persevered stubbornly. Tamu lived like this for several months, and the lionesses of the marsh pride were moved by Tamu's strength and maternal love, decided to accept Tamu. Tamu felt relieved that her cubs wouldn't suffer anymore. However, fate seemed to enjoy tormenting the unfortunate. In April 2007, under the invasion of 3 male lions, Pavarotti, Claude and Romeo, the once mighty marsh pride under Nochi began to split. Nochi's 3 nephews left for Paradise Plains. The large marsh pride began to divide in 2. Lionesses without cubs aligned with the new rulers. Cubs and those who liked Notch followed him. During this time, Notch tried many times to reclaim the pride, but all ended in failure. By October 2007, as the marsh pride branch submitted to Pawa, the 3 Lodi brothers surrendered. Notch once again became a nomadic lion, but it was this departure that allowed Notch to naturally establish the Masai Mara Peak Alliance. Notch's alliance was also known as the Kali Legion. During the wandering period, Notch and several nephews followed their scent, and gathered together again. As the father figure, Notch had absolute authority and strength. Notch, with his rich experience and excellent leadership skills, trained his offspring and led the entire alliance. Finally, in April 2008, when all of Notch's offspring reached adulthood, Notch led the alliance to set foot on Paradise Plains again, because he wanted revenge. In Paradise Plains, a great river divided the savannah in 2. This river was a necessary crossing point for wildebeest migration, and a natural boundary for lion pride's territories. The culprit who killed Notch's brother Liang Zong was here, right here. This pride called Paradise now had only 1 ruler left. Of the 3 brothers who invaded the marsh pride, 1 died from illness. 1 disappeared. Only the lion called Poison Fong remained. This Poison Fong was also a fierce male, with the strength of a crocodile, wanting to snatch the hippo carcass from the riverbank. The predator roared angrily and tried to drive them away, but it was useless. The crocodiles wouldn't back down. And Poison Fong, standing behind, seeing his wife Layla being bullied, became enraged, rushed to the riverbank and roared, "You little crocodiles are getting too bold. How dare you bully my wife?" The crocodile opened its mouth and said, "So what if we do? If you're not happy, come fight in the river." Poison Fong smirked and stepped forward. His dominating aura was fully displayed at this moment. Seeing this, the reasonable crocodile quickly submerged and didn't dare to surface. The toothless leader had actually scared away the mighty crocodile. Undeniably, Poison Fong was very charismatic at this moment. This act of protecting his wife deeply moved his wife Layla. This also led to Nochi's invasion, receiving unprecedented support. After some time, the river's water level began to drop, revealing the riverbed. Nochi and his nephew decided to cross the river. He came to the riverbank, looking at the hippos and crocodiles without any fear. He was even somewhat excited. He walked towards the other bank step by step. Finally crossed the river and reached the other side. The sense of invasion instantly filled the air. Poison Fong quickly let out a warning roar, trying to scare away the invading lion. But when he saw Nochi bringing his nephew into his territory, after assessing the situation, Poison Fong cursed silently at facing two opponents. "I'm not an idiot. Let's get out of here quickly." So Dunya fled without hesitation. Without any hesitation, gone was the boldness he showed that day by the river. When he faced off against the crocodile, Dunya's abandonment meant he gave up all his possessions. His women, children, and territory. Nochi found Dunya's pride, planning to kill Dunya's cubs and take over his pride. But unexpectedly, Dunya severely injured. Wife Layla rallied the war valley, leading the lionesses in fierce resistance. Nochi and his nephew were forced to retreat. So never provoke angry females. Lions included. Nochi clearly knew he couldn't take over Dunya's pride today, so he left the pride. And as Nochi and his nephew departed, hiding in the distance, Dunya eagerly ran back. He was secretly delighted, and told himself to treat his wife better from now on. Thanks to Layla's protection, Dunya temporarily kept his throne. After this battle, the severely injured Layla was near death. She knew Dunya couldn't be relied upon, so in her final days, she communicated with her sister Malika and Pride members, begging them to prepare, requesting that after she's gone, everyone would take care of her daughter Mara. Until everyone agreed. Layla had no more worries. She left the Pride alone. He found a clean patch of grass and lay down, never to wake up again. After being driven away, Nochi followed his nephews back to the northern grasslands and merged with other alliance partners, planning to lead 5 nephews across the river to unify the southern grasslands. However, shortly after returning to their territory, the Nochi alliance erupted in a famous power struggle, except for Dragon, who didn't attack Nochi. The other 4 members all launched attacks on Nochi, even biting at his spine. They were ready to kill Nochi. Nochi was truly the chosen one. When his nephews attacked him, he found a tree to protect his back. Otherwise, he would have been finished, and that would have been the end. The well-fed Nochi, who didn't understand hunger, finally understood a principle from this crisis. If there are irreconcilable internal conflicts, then redirect them elsewhere. So the river pride must be conquered, and the lionesses must be brought under control. So on this day, Nochi led his nephews, started walking towards the Mara River, preparing to cross the Mara River together, to invade the river pride. Their momentum was unmatched at this time. Nochi in front, his nephews behind, and Poison Fong, sensing something was happening, his face turned bitter. When he saw the Nochi alliance members arrive, he ran while begging for mercy, finally disappearing into the Masai Mara. Meanwhile, the river pride was immersed in leisure and rest, completely unaware of the danger. Except for Noah Air, who went to chase Duya. The other male lions attacked the river pride's lionesses, planning to force the lionesses into submission. The outcome was clear. Soon after, the river pride's lionesses were completely subdued. This meant that Duya's cubs would all be killed. If they wanted to survive, they had to swim across the crocodile-infested Mara River. Soon one lion was dragged underwater by a crocodile, but fortunately, he managed to jump up, escaping the crocodile's deadly death roll. With Duya's son's departure and the lioness's submission, it meant that the Nuachi coalition had completely taken control of this pride. This was the Nuachi coalition's first true conquest of another territory since their formation, and each male lion was assigned lionesses. So all the lions were very excited. The Nuachi coalition's proud roars echoed across the southern plains, making many smaller prides and members leave the area. But it also successfully attracted the attention of the then strongest coalition, the Chilla brothers. In September of the same year, the Chilla brothers entered Nuachi coalition's territory. Only 2 of them came and dared to challenge the Nuachi coalition. The Chilla brothers retreated safely, 2 against 6. The Chilla brothers were truly impressive. By the end of 2009, the Paradise brothers, who fled from eastern Masai Mara, became the catalyst for the death of Long, the giant male lion. This is Nuachi Air, the second-in-command of the Nuachi coalition, also known as Nua Air, possessed great strength and ambition. He was the most undisputed 5-star king in the Nuachi alliance. He spent his entire life protecting this alliance. After Nuachi disappeared, Nua Air took control of the alliance. With a force of 40, he swept through Masai Mara, leading his brothers in continued conquest, and took the alliance to new heights. occupying an area of 1,100 square kilometers, taking control of 15 out of 22 Pride territories in Masai Mara. Chasing the Pao Wu brothers for 4 kilometers with gunmen, Noah Air remained undefeated during his leadership. He was the true king of Masai Mara. After all his brothers were gone, he alone maintained the final glory of the Kali Legion. Facing invasions from many lion alliances, even bloodied, he never backed down. After stepping down, he allied with his disabled son Xiao Changmao, risking his life to establish territory for his son. Noah Air was born with pride, loyal to his brothers, and boundlessly loving to his son. He finally disappeared in February 2020, at the age of 15, perhaps for his son. He fell on the battlefield he loved. The third member of the Noah Chi alliance was Long. He had a large build. At just 3 years old, he was already larger than Noah Chi. He looked very similar to his father Liang Zong. When the two lions stood together, people thought Liang Zong had returned. Long was closest to Noah Chi, but died the earliest. The fourth member of the Noah Chi alliance was Ron. He was very thoughtful. He shows extreme caution in dealing with everything. Perhaps because of this, Ron seems somewhat unsociable. The fifth member of the Notch coalition is called Ghostface. Ghostface looks fierce. He doesn't look like a good person at first sight, and indeed, he proved not to be. Ghostface was the one who led the attack on Little Tam. He's like Baldy Tail, the fifth member of the Bad Boys Alliance. He's also unrelenting, a terrifying fighter who fears nothing. He's also at the war god level. The sixth member of the Notch Legion is called Caesar. Being the youngest, he often gets bullied. But this bullying is more like brotherly play and a display of deep affection. For example, when Notch 2 bullies him, Ron helps him, and when Ron bullies him, Notch 2 stands up for him. It's precisely because of Caesar's special position that the Notch coalition never split apart. At the end of 2009, Notch was nearly 10 years old, and his nephews were almost 5 years old. Notch's nephews became particularly aggressive as they matured. Especially Ghostface, who would fight at any challenge, fighting recklessly without fear for his life. Just like Baldy Tail, the fifth member of the Bad Boys, from eastern Masai Mara, the defeated Paradise Brothers brought their lionesses into the Notch coalition's territory. To defend their territory, the Notch coalition launched an attack, planning to kill the Paradise Brothers and take over their pride of lionesses. However, the three brothers of heaven were defeated in a battle in eastern Masai Mara and were completely terrified. They didn't dare to confront the Notch coalition and fled northward. They entered the northern Cheli, territory of Lion Pride and Olololo Males territory, causing another battle and casualties. During this time, Long left the north due to injury and returned to Paradise Plains. He completely disappeared in August 2010. Some suspected he was shot, while others thought he was killed by other male lions. Long was just over 5 years old at the time. When he was 3 years old, his size was even larger than Notch. At his prime, it's hard to imagine how majestic he would have been in his prime. During Long's absence, the Notch coalition continued fighting, killing endlessly, unaware that Long had disappeared. On September 10, 2010, the Notch coalition decided to return to Paradise. While passing through Olololo's territory, they severely injured the Olololo male. If not for the reserve staff's treatment, Olololo would have died. In early November 2010, the returning coalition members finally discovered Long's disappearance. Unable to know Long's situation, they roared for an entire month calling for him. The lions roaring severely affected the Maasai's cattle and sheep, so the Notch coalition was driven by the Maasai to central Masai Mara. His territory, pride, and cubs were all lost during this period. Fortunately, Nochi and Tam's son was still alive. At this time, he and Romeo's son formed an alliance, living in the southern Tobi Plains. This third generation of the Noah family, people really hoped he would join the Nochi alliance, but unfortunately, later Ghostface found Nochi's child in the Tobi Plains, and immediately launched an attack. Other lions joined the battle. Venting their fury, Nochi went to stop them. But he was already 11 years old then, powerless to stop it. Finally, Nochi's son died in battle. Romeo fled with severe injuries. In April 2011, the Nochi alliance invaded the Maasai, known family pride in central Mara. It was this battle that made their legion's name known worldwide. It was here that began the golden age of the Nochi alliance. The Long family pride was a very powerful alliance in central Masai Mara. During the battle, the Nochi alliance never harmed any lionesses, cubs, or adolescent males. They just used overwhelming force to kill the Long family pride's leader within an hour. After victory, the Nochi alliance showed the benevolence and morality of a regular army, not harming the young or forcing their will upon others, whether it's the mother leading adolescents to escape or cubs too young to travel far. They showed extraordinary magnanimity. Those who wanted to leave were allowed to depart. At this moment, they transcended beyond mere beasts, which is truly commendable. And it was because of the Notch coalition's benevolence that later, the gunslinger coalition that would dominate Masai Mara didn't disappear. It was this passing of the torch that allowed this eastern land to give birth to legend after legend. By April 2011, all Notch coalition members except Notch were in their prime. They fought with the Kira brothers for months. In no less than 10 battles, they struggled to defeat the Kira brothers. The Notch coalition members grew stronger quickly, until the 13th time, when Notch 2 seized the opportunity to kill one of the Kira brothers, finally breaking apart the Kira brothers. From then on, no coalition could stop the Notch coalition from reaching the peak of Masai Mara. After a brief recovery period, the Notch coalition marched south in early 2012. After occupying the Loco Pride, they continued, taking over southern and western Masai Mara, further expanding their territory. Because the Notch coalition was previously driven into central Masai Mara by the Masai, this led to their original territory, the Paradise Pride, being occupied by the Gunslinger coalition. Over these years, as the Masai's cattle herding distances changed, this caused Paradise, the location of the Lion Pride, was occupied by the Masai. The Gunslinger coalition had to move westward. This move led to intense confrontations between the two top coalitions in Masai Mara. They began fierce encounters and conflicts. In March 2013, the Notch coalition faced off against the Gunslinger coalition, forcing the Gunslinger coalition to retreat to the Paradise region, making them unwilling to intrude. Meanwhile, in Masai Mara, the top Lion coalitions suffered consecutive defeats under the Notch coalition. This resulted in no male coalition daring to approach the territory controlled by the Notch coalition. By May 2013, Ghost had been missing during patrol for more than 2 months. During this time, Notch coalition members followed Ghost's urine markings to search for him, but couldn't find him. Just when everyone thought the Notch coalition would start to weaken, Ghost appeared. Perhaps the territory was too large, or maybe Ghost was injured, hiding in a safe place to rest. But after the warrior-like Ghost returned, before everyone could feel relieved, people were surprised to discover Notch had also been missing for a long time. This legendary Lion King, now over 13 years old, although not very brave in his youth, was very friendly to the lions around him. What many people might not know: after his brother Liang Zong left, every time Notch ate, he would leisurely let the lionesses of the Marsh Pride feeding with the cubs before eating himself. This behavior seemed like a penance for his brother Liang Zong's death, and more like Nua Chi's life sacrifice for the rise of the family. In the years that followed, Nua Chi fell down many times, but quickly got back up each time, and became even stronger. The hardships he endured are imaginable, and it was because of everything Nua Chi sacrificed that this Lion Pride broke one lion record after another. Without a doubt, Nua Chi was a great legendary leader. Like Angela, the leader of the Bad Boys Alliance, and Lyric, he was legendary. After Nua Chi disappeared, the power of Nua Chi's alliance was officially handed over to Nua Air. Originally thought that Nua Air would be very happy, since when Nua Chi was around, he often teased Nua Chi, but in reality, after Nua Chi's disappearance, Nua Air often stared blankly at Nua Chi's cubs. In his mind, he often recalled scenes of Nua Chi raising his brothers from childhood. Finally, Nua Air and other male lions couldn't bear it anymore. They never believed that Nua Chi was dead. So in October 2013, Nua Air led his army to frantically invade surrounding lion prides. This made Nua Chi Alliance's territory grow increasingly larger, but it also led to many prides being left unguarded. In May 2014, the bold Sopa brothers, wandering near the Long Family Pride, they discovered the Long Family Pride was unguarded, and took over the Long Family Pride. They killed all the cubs in the pride. Following this example, the surrounding nomadic male lions started invading the Notch coalition, targeting prides without male guardians. In July 2014, while the Notch coalition was patrolling their territory, they discovered the Sopa 5 brothers had invaded their Long Family Pride. Notch 2 and Ghost chased the 5 prime males and drove the Sopa 5 brothers out of their territory. In late 2014, the disgraced Romeo allied with other males to invade the Notch coalition territory, but was killed by Notch 2 and Ghost, who had returned. It seems whoever allies with Romeo dies. Even Notch's son died because of allying with Romeo. He's truly a harbinger of doom, showing off without real strength, urinating and roaring in Notch coalition territory. This time he sent himself to heaven. Time quickly moved to February 2015. By then, Caesar's skin disease had caused his entire body to deteriorate. To care for Caesar's diet and health, the Notch coalition, all members stayed at the Long Family Pride. This led to the northernmost territory of the Notch coalition, the Olololo Pride, being taken over by the Kasiva coalition. And the Kasiva coalition continued southward, eroding Notch coalition territory. In June of the same year, Ghost couldn't stand it anymore and headed north alone, single-handedly scared off the Kasiva coalition, and entered the northern territory alone, only returning leisurely after patrolling the area. The Kakua coalition abandoned their territory and lions directly, and ran away. In August of the same year, after 10-year-old Ghostface left the Long Family Pride alone, he completely disappeared. Noah Air sensed something and called desperately, but there was no response. While the sick Caesar endured his physical pain, he called on Noah Air and other coalition brothers, started moving in the direction where Ghostface's scent was lost, but they never found Ghostface's traces. Instead, they saw the Loco Pride had been taken over by other male lions, so the Noah Chi coalition directly killed one of the male lions. The remaining 2 fled. Due to Caesar's deteriorating skin condition, the Noah Chi coalition stayed at the Lucky Pride to rest and recover. In June 2016, after Caesar's condition improved, Noah Air, Ron, Caesar and others set out again. They discovered that the Rex Nose Pride had been occupied by the Gunslinger coalition. The Noah Chi coalition, at 11 years old, fought against the Peak Gunslinger Coalition, and finally won. But in August of the same year, Ron suddenly disappeared without a trace. The once 6-member Noa-Chi Coalition now only had Noa Air and Caesar remaining. Their territory began to be encroached by surrounding male lions. Just when people thought Noa Air and Caesar would retreat to one area, they didn't do that. Instead, they chose to continue fighting. This situation continued until 2017. Caesar's leg was severely injured and he could no longer fight. Noa Air took Caesar. They arrived at the Looker Pride to rest. But Caesar's condition continued to worsen until he died. His body was even dragged into the water and eaten by crocodiles. At this point, Notch Coalition had only one member left, Notch 2. Of course, the third generation of Notch's descendants began fighting everywhere, like the 4 dragons, the 4 Raynok brothers and others, with the Gunslinger Coalition's invasion southward in 2018, after defeating Notch 2. After Notch 2 lost his last Pride Loco, the era of Notch Coalition's rule came to a complete end. In August 2019, the wandering Notch 2 saw a young male lion with a limp. He recognized the young male lion. It was Longmane Boy, one of Notch's third generation. Little Longmane's leg was broken by the Maasai, leaving him permanently disabled. This led to no male lions willing to accept him in their coalition. He could only survive by eating carrion. As a male lion, he couldn't chase prey. He had long lost the light in his eyes. But Notch 2 didn't want to see his nephew living in such a miserable state, because during Notch's time, no matter how great the hardships were, his eyes always shone with light, full of desire for the world. Notch 2 decided to be like Notch 1 last time before his life ended. He started staying by Little Longmane's side, teaching his nephew how to hunt wildebeest and attack techniques, even to let Little Longmane become a king. At the age of 14, he invaded the Kaka Pride. After accompanying Little Longmane for 8 months, Notch 2 finally disappeared from people's sight. Life will fade away, but the legions will and legacy of the Noa-Chi Alliance makes them never give up in the face of difficulties. They are both beasts and pathwalkers. This spirit will live on forever.